Henry and James. The Iron Soldiers engines have our best friend to each other, but one of the bestest friends on the Iron Soldier, with their friendship, is only one than Henry the Big Engine and James the Red Engine. Henry and James have been on the Iron Soldier for many years, and with that, the both of them call each other best friends, which means James says that Henry is his best friend, and Henry says James is his best friend. And nothing can stop their great friendship from each other. The two of them always help each other in incidents or problems, anything. The two of them help themselves with any situations. One day, the Fat Controller came to see Henry. Henry, I have a very special job for you and James to do. You must go to Crow's Gate and meet him there. There, you two ought to take a goods train together. Yes, sir, puffed Henry. It's best if I go with you to tell James the news. Yes, sir, puffed Henry, as the Fat Controller got in Henry's cab, as he puffed away to Crow's Gate. At Crow's Gate, James and Ivor were just taking a break when they heard a whistle. Oh, I know that whistle, said James. It must be the engine himself, puffed Ivor. Indeed, the two engines were correct. Henry puffed beside James. Hello, Jam, he said. Hello, Hen, puffed the two engines together. This made Ivor puzzled. Why do you two call yourselves that? He puffed. Well, said Henry, surely that's what best friends call each other, and we like calling ourselves that names, puffed James. I know, said Ivor. I haven't seen any other best friends like Thomas and Percy say that. They must have some other differences so way for their friendship. Besides, me and Henry are the best of friends. Alright then, said Ivor. I won't come any Susans until the Fat Controller jumped out of Henry's cab. Hello, sir, replied James and Ivor. Good day, engines, smiled the Fat Controller. Now, James, I want you to go with Henry and take a goods train. A goods train? Puffed James. I'll be honored, sir. That's good. So, said the Fat Controller, the goods train is waiting here on Crow's Gate, and you must take it where it must go. Your fireman drivers will let you know. Yes, sir, replied the two engines. Very good, then. I suspect the goods train be ready. It's almost ready, sir. That's good, said the Fat Controller. Now, I must be going now. Because I think my wife will be picking me up, taking me back to Knapford. Mustache now, as the Fat Controller walked away. Well, you two are lucky, said Ivor. Ah, well, said James. It's what happens when you're really useful, puffed Henry. Correct, said James. Now, we better get that goods train. Agreed, said Henry. So they did. Before the train, Henry was just taking on water, and James was behind. James saw this and decided to have a little fun. I suppose why not, said James. Besides, the goods train will be leaving in a few minutes, so come on, let's have a bit of fun. As James got ready, he was going to biff Henry and just have a little fun. And with that, James shot forward and gave Henry a little bump. Bang! Henry was surprised. What was that? He said. But then James started pushing Henry as water spilled everywhere from the water tower. Watch out, Henry, puffed James, or the water will spoil your lovely green paint again, puffed James. He was reminding Henry of the time where Henry got stuck in the tunnel. But Henry didn't like this trick. Stop joking around, James, he said crossly, and we fill water and coal and get copper to that train, he said crossly. But James didn't care. He thought it was hilarious. Only having a little fun. Only having a little fun, Hen. Well, Jam, or James, we want to be called. But this train is serious, and there's no time for jokes or tricks. he said crossly. James didn't care. He kept on laughing and laughing until it was time to take the train. Because of this, James kept on laughing and laughing when he raced off. Huh, silly engine, puffed Henry. Just then, Henry had an idea. What if I could bump him or scare him? Maybe that way I can get payback. Said Henry. I guess I could try, he said. And with that, Henry puffed away to go and do his trick on James. Meanwhile, James was doing some shunting. He was shunting some vans as Henry came up behind and gave him a biff behind his tender, like what James did. Bumped. The trucks bang. Oi, oi, they said. Don't be so pushy. Don't be so pushy. Ah, said James. Henry giggled and giggled. Payback, he said. James knew it was Henry that was pushing the whole train, since Henry's one of the strongest engines on Sodor. James was crossed by this. James was soon uncoupled from the vans as Henry pulled them out. It was not long before James found it was Henry that did it. Henry giggled and giggled. What's out, James? He said. Or the Phantom Express might get ya. James was cross. That was a long time ago, he said. Besides, I'm not scared of that Phantom Express. Oh, do you want to prove it then, Jam? Said Henry giggling. I have you know, Henry, that I'm the most bravest engine on Sodor. While somebody's probably scared of elephant or rain. Henry didn't care. He just kept on laughing and laughing. Oh, I suppose you learned a lesson from playing tricks, eh? Oh, stop it. I was just kidding around. You better get coupled up then. Oh, is that so? Said Henry. That's not what you like. This made James even more cross. I was just joking around. So was I, said Henry. If you can joke, so can I. James was crossed by this. Oh, come along, James. You better shut those vans, said Henry, giggling. James just ignored Henry. Well, said James, you took it so seriously. Henry was a bit annoyed by this. You took my trick seriously. That's because you almost crashed the vans. You almost spilled water everywhere, said Henry. Well, said James, it's a good thing I'm not an engine like you. It's a good thing I'm not an engine like you. I suppose you wouldn't like to work on a branch line. I suppose you wouldn't like to be pulling a train all night. I pulled the mail train with Percy. Does it look like the mail train has fish? Well, no, said James, but that isn't the point. You almost crashed the vans. You almost destroyed the water tower, spilling water everywhere. If you spill the water, then what will other engines do? You will out water. I don't know, maybe go around so it gets some more, like from the river, like what Thomas did. Pa, said Henry. If it wasn't for you, James, this would never happen. Maybe if you didn't took it so seriously, maybe this would never happen. But if you didn't do that trick, then I wouldn't do this to you. Oh, Pa, said James. Stuff and nonsense. I gave you stuff and nonsense, said Henry. How about this? Whoever wins this battle is the one that gets the blame. Deal, said James. Right, said Henry. It's settled. The competition begins. I suppose I will wish you luck. You too, said James, as the two engines didn't speak before their train. I think I declare you not be my best friend anymore, said Henry. Same here, said James. Very well then, this best friendship is over. Well, agreed, said James. I bet no more jam and hen. Yes, said Henry. Goodbye, goodbye, said the two engines. And with that, when not another word said, Henry puffed away crossly. What can James can do is watch. Good riddance, he said. At Ellsbridge, everything was quiet and peaceful until Henry passed by. However, but there was a problem. What was that? Puffed Henry. Henry came to a sudden halt. His driver checked. You burst your safety valve, he said. Bother, said Henry. Well, what about that goods train, said the fireman. Huh, James can take it himself, said Henry crossly. Now, said the driver. I better call that. There's a signal box down the line. Better check there. I'll check it, said the fireman, and he went down. Oh, said Henry. But at the same time, Henry felt sad he burst his safety valve. What would the fat controller say? He said. Meanwhile, back at Crow's gate, Jane was still fuming about Henry. Ha, silly engine, he said. Just then a workman came up. Henry burst his safety valve. You have to go and rescue him, James. But. Sorry, orders by the fat controller. The workman walked away. Grrr, said James. I don't want to help him. He's not my best friend anymore. Well, we know that, said the driver. But the fat controller, those orders. Besides, everyone has to work together, though. Fine, said James. And with that, James puffed away to go and help Henry. Luckily, Henry's fireman came back with good news. The fat controller sent an engine to come and help. I wonder who it is, said the driver, until Henry saw who it was. What? Said Henry. You gotta be kidding me. No, said James. The two engines didn't speak to each other. Enough of this now, said the crews. James, get coupled up to Henry. Whatever, said James. As James was buffed up, and with that, James was buffed up to Henry as they set off. As James used all the effort he had to push Henry. Late that evening, it was time for the train to be taken out. But with the train being taken out, the two engines still wouldn't talk to each other after James helped out. Until, you go in front, said both engines. Well, I'm not going in front. Come on, said James. You can go in front. Now you. The engines kept on arguing until Henry had enough. Fine, I'll go in front. Good, said James. So that way nobody can see your face, said Henry. Ah, said James. Now get coupled up to that train, said Henry, or else the fat controller have to paint you black again. You know what, Henry? Said James. Go back to your old shape, huh? Go and get some bad coal. Whatever, said Henry. Soon James jumped the train to the platform as Henry backed down onto the train. Even though of today's problem, when Henry and James did not speak while they were getting ready, he coupled up, or even worse, pulling the train. Not a word they said to each other. After last few checks, the gobblers whistled and the train was off. As they puffed away. As they left, there was still no word from each other. The trucks, however, were behaving themselves this evening. Henry and James were happy with it, but still didn't say a word to each other. They were still cross about what happened. They were making good timing. No problems. There was no. And luckily, Henry's safety valve was able to be fixed so he can pull the train. There was no safety valve problems, no trucks causing trouble, no brake line trouble, and no complaints. Besides James and Henry's complaints, but they were not speaking to each other. But there was trouble. There was a sudden crack. Brakes, brakes, said James' driver. Henry's driver quickly applied Henry's brakes and the guard applied the brake van's brakes. They came to a stop. Why are we stopped, driver? Replied James. James' driver got out of his cab. What happened? Said Henry's crew and the guard. It's James' radiator, said his driver. It's after for snapping off. You mean it's broken? Correct. Poor James turned his face to sadness. Oh, great. Now this train won't be delivered on time. Nothing we can do about that, said the driver. No chance of mending it now. You have to go to the steamworks to get it fixed. There's no chance going back to Croven's gate for you for repaired. Bother, said James. Now what? When Henry was told the news about that, he was cross. Huh! For an engine like James. Now the Fat Control will be much more angrier. The signalman was told about this. The signalman quickly phoned the Fat Control and told him the news. However, luckily help was just about to come out of nowhere. They heard a whistle. That would sound familiar, said Henry. I wonder who it is, puffed James. The two engines still didn't speak to each other. They didn't even ask each other who the engine was. Meanwhile, the Fat Control came to Neville's sheds. Neville was the only engine there. Neville, Henry and James were taking a goods train and they're stranded. I need you to, Direct Crosby, I need you to go there and take the goods train. Henry will take James from onwards. Yes, sir, replied Neville happily. And with that, Neville puffed away to the rescue. Meanwhile, the signalman came back. Here's help. and there it was. Neville steamed him beside the engine. Hey guys, he puffed. Hey Neville, they said. What's going on? Henry and James didn't speak to each other. No, not talking to each other, are we? It's a long story, said Henry. Anyways, the factory sent me to take the goods train, and you, Henry, are to take James. What? Said Henry. But can you take James? Sorry, the factory's orders, said Neville. Henry was cross. Anyways, better sort things out, said Neville. Fine, said Henry. Soon Neville's crew told they were told, and soon the plans were arranged. Right, said the guard. Let's do it. And so they got to work. Firstly, Neville went to uncouple James from the brake van, so he could be shunted onto a siding. As Neville was switching tracks, James and Henry still didn't speak to each other. Soon, Neville came up behind James and coupled up. Slowly and gently, he buffed up behind James. As the guard uncoupled James from the brake van, Neville pulled James away from the train. James was still sad. Soon, James was out of the brake van. As Henry was uncoupled from the vans as he went to switch the tracks. Soon, Henry buffed up to James. And Henry talked to himself. I can't believe I'm helping him again, he said. Soon, Henry was coupled up to James as Neville backed down onto the train. Good luck, you two, he said. We will, but Henry and James still didn't speak to each other. And with all the strength, Henry pulled James. As Neville watched them puffed away. As they puffed off, where do you think we're going? Wars was the next station. I suppose we stop there, said Henry's crew. James's crew thought the same thing. Very well then, as they continued their journey. After James and Henry left, Neville backed down onto the goods train. And with that, he puffed away with the goods train. Meanwhile, Epis was just taking a rest. Epis was just taking a rest after a long busy day when Neville puffed in with the goods train. Oh, hello, Neville, puffed Epis. Hey, Epis, said Neville. Ah, see, you have the goods train. Yes. Wait a minute, isn't that Henry and James's goods train? Yes, but James broke a regulator. For some reason, they're not speaking to each other. As Neville pushed the goods train beside Epis. What do you mean they're not speaking to each other? I didn't know they're not speaking to each other. Oh well, I think oh well, said Edward. But I hope they make things up. Same here, said Neville. Wonder what happened. Who knows, said Edward. Meanwhile, there was a change of plan. Henry and James were instead going back to Corbin's Gate, since the steamworks were there. and they still haven't spoken to each other. Back at Crowan's Gate Sheds, James and Henry arrived there, and Henry put James into the shed while Henry went beside. The two engines didn't speak again until James spoke up. Henry, said James, I'm sorry for my trick today. You're right. I should have listened to you about the goods train and everything. I'm sorry for my behavior today. No, James, I'm sorry for shouting and playing that trick on you. No, said James. I'm the one that got into this mess. Alright then, said Henry. I just got mad so easy and just want to get payback at you. Ah well, said James. We all learn from our mistakes. Hopefully the Fat Control won't be angry at us. It's kind of too late for him to come to the sheds here. I better be getting back to Vicarstown. No, said James. You can stay overnight if you want. Thanks. Just then, Henry Joy came up. They were about to leave. We got some news that the factory wants you to stay here for a week, Henry, to help on the branch line. Oh, really? How very kind of him. True, said James, as Henry's crew went off. Since you're staying for a week, Henry, said James, can we be best friends again? Of course, Hen. Of course, Jam, if you like to call that. Of course, Hen. Henry and James were now best friends again, as they chatted through the night, as they chatted like old friends, as Henry stayed at Crowan's Gate for 1 week. As James and Henry learned their lesson about playing tricks on each other. And they understand it's normal to disagree and argue about friendships, whatever happens. But they understand that something like that will never stop their friendship.